overwhelming part for me was definitely getting myself organized, and KBB definitely helped me to kind of get my email going and start getting on a personal level with a lot of the coaches that I was talking to.
I'd say the most overwhelming part of this recruiting process is that knowing I have to continuously email the coaches and keep ahead and know what's going on, what kind of the visits I go on. So I think that would be the most overwhelming part, is just to keep up with the coaches.
I just started with KBB, and I didn't realize how overwhelming talking to college coaches would be, because it's just like you don't know what to say at first and it's hard to figure that out. But once you do figure it out, it gets easier. And looking for like the right school to pick and like what my interests are is overwhelming.
Probably the most overwhelming part of just the whole process itself is starting and figuring out where to finish, because the way technology is set up all today, you get Facebook, you get letters, you don't know which colleges are most interested, you don't know which colleges actually have genuine interest in you. So the most overwhelming part is finding the first group to start with and then building off from there.
The most overwhelming part of the recruiting process was definitely waiting to get the first offer. So I felt like I went to all the camps and stuff, and all the coaches said they liked what they saw, and hopefully an offer was coming soon. Continue to work hard in the recruiting process, and then the offer eventually came, and it was a very big relief for myself and my family.
A lot of people believe that the recruiting process is overwhelming, and I can see it be overwhelming, but for me personally it wasn't overwhelming at all, because I had KBB Recruiting do the work for me. And the amount of work KBB does, I couldn't see me doing a quarter of that work, not even have the ability to do it.
I've loved the experience with KBB because they've helped me a lot because I didn't know anything about recruiting or any of that before, so I understand it a lot better, and I know what to do now when I get into situations that I need to contact coaches and find the school I want.
KBB taught me just a lot of rules about the NCAA that I never knew. The fact that I had to get a clearinghouse number, which I never would have known otherwise. So KBB taught me that for sure, and that's really important later on.
I learned a lot through the process. I learned that you need to keep your name in the coach's head, by calling them each week or Facebooking them each week. You have to take visits down to the schools to show that you're interested, and just keep calling them and making them know that you're interested and would like to play for them if they were going to offer you.
Some things I didn't know about the process before I started with KBB was, eligibility center. Wasn't really aware of that whole thing. Didn't know what you had to require to get into there. Didn't know what it took to have recruiting start. Also, with evaluation, going to camps through the season, through the summer and everything, I had no idea what coaches were looking for. I was going into it totally blind, just thought if I showed up and did well that they would start communicating with me. But when I started KBB, she told me, you need to do this. You need to call these days. You need to talk to the coaches on these days. You need to go do these things in order for stuff to start coming to you, because you can't wait for it to start happening with you.
KBB taught me the timing of everything. So sometimes you can read the rules, but it's hard to be familiar with all of them and the timing or remember them. And so it was always easy to give her a call and say, where are the coaches right now? We're not having the same sort of contact we had in the past. Is it because, and she would say, oh, well, they are not allowed to contact you at this point as of that date. Or she would say, we're approaching this date, so you're either going to hear from them or there's going to be a break of 6 weeks.